Voting for the Liberals is going, into a wall at high speed, and voting for the Conservative is going into a wall at the official speed or a lower speed. They are censoring 850,000 people who voted for the People's Party. Their voice won't be there during this debate. You have separatist movement. You're fed up with Ottawa. And I'm telling you, be serious. Be serious at the provincial level and vote for a separatist movement here. Maybe Ottawa will take you seriously.
Sidney Vizard for Rebel News, coming to you from Calgary, Alberta. As you know, Canada is in the middle of a federal election, and before the month is over, we will have a new Prime Minister. In my last report, Mark Carney, leader of the Liberal Party, was in town for his campaign stop. You can find that report by following the link in the description of this video. Today, however, we interviewed Maxime Bernier, leader of the People's Party of Canada. Many think this election comes down to either a Liberal or a Conservative government. But even one candidate from the People's Party, if they were to win in a single riding across Canada, that would mean a new voice on Parliament Hill, representing Canadians whose values and opinions have otherwise been ignored by the federal government.
The leader of the People's Party of Canada. Thank you, Brian.
The last election, nationally, we had an average of 5% of support all across the country. Here in Alberta, the average was 10% for us.
Do you think this is going to be the election where we get to see a People's Party of Canada member of Parliament?
I hope so. I'm working hard for that. We have great candidates across the country. And here in Alberta, like I said in my press conference, we had 10% of the vote at the last election. So something will happen, and I'm working hard for making history at this election. All across the country, we don't have a full slate of candidates this time, but in almost every riding.
The very important thing to remember, about 40% of the support that our party has is non-voters. People who never voted before, who are tired of the Uni Party, who don't want to see Liberal or Conservative, or NDP for that matter, right? And they're seeing us, seeing our platform, seeing how, it's a grassroots movement, if you will, and they are coming out in droves to support us and vote for us.
Do you think Conservative voters are more or less concerned about vote splitting now compared to previous elections?
There's no such thing as vote splitting. You own your own vote. People own their own vote. So you must vote for the party that is in line with your values. What I'm telling Canadians, the People's Party is the only party that is in line with Western civilization values.
If you believe the polls that are out there, it's not looking great for this time, but I actually think that the polls don't represent the groundswell of support that I see. So when I talk to people around my community, it feels like roughly half of the people I talk to are excited about PPC.
But voting for the Liberals is going, into a wall at high speed, and voting for the Conservative is going into a wall at the, the official speed or a lower speed.
How would you advocate for Alberta's energy sector?
First, withdraw from the Paris Accord. No more subsidies to the green technology. The net zero in 2050, we won't buy that. We won't do that because there's no climate emergency. Second, build pipelines. And we are able to do that. If you ask me the question, how you will do that? By using the Constitution. In our Constitution, we have the clause 9210. If you read that clause in our Constitution, every national infrastructures are under the control of the federal government.
During my door knocking and when I was obtaining signature and or support from people, I came to know one single questions and they asking me why we are going through this severe phase of Canadian history. And many people, they answer as well that it is because the both elite parties, conservatives or liberals, they fail to adopt the right and appropriate way.
Don't blame me if they have weak leaders. Scheer wasn't able to win. O'Toole wasn't able to win. And now, Poilievre may not be able to win. And that's not because of the People's Party, because they have weak leaders and because they are not conservative. They're only conservative in name only. Speak about abortion. Poilievre said that it's okay for a late-term abortion, killing unborn babies. That is position. He won't do anything and you have, social conservative here in Alberta who are still supporting Poilievre. He won't do anything on abortion. We will reopen that debate. We will promote the end of the late-term abortion. The Conservative Party of Canada is taking your vote here in Alberta for granted. And that's why at the provincial level, you have separatist movement. You're fed up with Ottawa. And I'm telling you, be serious. Be serious at the provincial level and vote for a separatist movement here. Maybe Ottawa will take you seriously. We are the last hope for this country. With our policies, and I understand people in Alberta here, the separatist movement is alive because of Ottawa. So if you have Carney that will interfere in provincial jurisdictions, that may grow the separatist movement here, and same thing in Quebec. To stop that, we have the solution. Radical decentralization in Ottawa. And if you have Poilievre, like I said in my press conference, he won't do anything for Albertan. Poilievre is taking your vote, the vote in Alberta, for granted. He won't speak about mass immigration. He won't end that. We will have a moratorium. He won't withdraw from the Paris Accord. We will. He won't speak about the equalization formula that you don't like here in Alberta, and you're right about that.
What we say, we will stand for it, and we mean it. And it's like, most of us, we're used to vote for other parties, but not anymore, because we see a third very viable option that, and even in a hard time in this election, we're still standing up against those woke ideas or those ideas of Liberal and Conservative Party that doesn't care about Canadians, that doesn't put Canada first. So we will make sure that your voice is as strong as it can be in Ottawa, because our party allows us to speak on behalf of our constituents. It's not like we have a party whip. We don't. So we will be real voice in Ottawa for Albertans.
Unfortunately for the PPC and for Canadians, Maxime will not be in the election debate. Even the Bloc Québécois is allowed in the federal election debates, and they only represent a single province within our Great Dominion.
They call that commission the Leaders' Debate Commission. The only role of that commission is to exclude us. That's their only role. Why? Because at every election, they are coming with a new criteria to exclude us. And when they're doing that, they are censoring 850,000 people who voted for the People's Party. Their voice won't be there during this debate. It's a shame, and I tried to change that, but I wasn't able to.
Are you believing in free speech only when people are saying things that you want to hear?
You're asking the question, let me answer it. After a couple of minutes of this debate tonight, I think people can clearly see why I didn't think you should deserve a platform.
They don't want us to be out there because, we have a very different platform and policies than the Liberals and the Conservatives. Without us, that won't be a real debate.
It's not because I want to have a discussion about immigration that I'm a
Bernier,
radical. Only
your role
6%,
on this stage tonight
only
seems to be to say publicly what Mr. Scheer thinks privately.
No. Only 6% of Canadians want more immigration. Only 6%. So when you don't want to have a debate about that, you're not in line with the population. Let's just have an honest debate on that subject.
Just take some time and listen to what Maxime's done through a lot of the media that you guys are putting forward. Just listen and look at the platform and be that person like me. I made a change, so maybe it's time that everybody just kind of looks at what they're looking for, and if it's here and they find it.
First time they said, Bernier, you need to have 4% of the vote at the previous election. We had 5% at the previous election in 2021 and more than 4%. So now they changed their criteria, and every year they're doing that. So we cannot trust them.
There is a major breaking development in terms of the leaders participating in the debate. The Leaders Debates Commission is rescinding its invitation to Green Party co-leader Jonathan Pedneau. The commission explains the Green Party no longer meets the criteria to participate, and that participation would undermine the integrity of the debates as well as the interests of the voting public.
Let me be clear, their last-minute decision to exclude the Green Party of Canada from the leaders' debate is not only unjust and baseless because we met the criteria, it is undemocratic.
If you had a member of parliament at the point of dissolution, Richard, I think we're hearing you here.
90% candidates, 3% polling.
Richard?
Sitting MP.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I can tell you that I will be very active during the French and the English debate on my Twitter account. I will say to people, follow me on Twitter. I will tweet my answer, and I will show to everybody that you have, only one political party in Canada. It's the Lib Con party. Be strong and free, and thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Either you vote based on what you truly believe, or you vote for the lesser of two evils. This is the sentiment that many PPC voters present. But will it be enough to get the People's Party their own Member of Parliament in the House of Commons? Time will tell. For Rebel News, I'm Sidney Fazard. Campaign2025.com is where you have to go if you want to stay up to date on all the craziness this election has brought with it. And if you want to know who you should be voting for, stay informed at campaign2025.com.